friends, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I am here with our weekly library card challenge. So this is the one where we just alter a library card, and I try to give you guys a prompt to help you, or you can do whatever you like. So real quick, if you're new and you need some library cards, I have a free digital download on Buy Me a Coffee, and that will be linked for you in the description. You can print it off and play along. If you are not able to do that, or you prefer, just use an index card or some scrapbook paper or whatever. These are, and you can make them really any size you want, but these are 3 by almost, nope, right at 5, 3 by 5. So that's what we're doing. I have quite a few from weeks past that I've been altering. Sometimes I show a little technique. Sometimes I just alter it and decorate it. You know, it really depends. If you've missed any, here's little books that I made one week. If you've missed any, you know, you're welcome to go back. I'm trying to remember the date of this one because I just got it out of order. You're welcome to go back and look at those. Here was last week. We did a sweet Christmas tree. But today I have a surprise for you guys. I'm going back to my kind of grateful thankfulness. We're getting to the end of November, and not that we should be express gratitude only in November, but it does a lot of times prompt us to stop and think. So I made this is just a quick freebie for you guys. It's over on Buy Me a Coffee, and this is just to say thank you and to tell you how grateful I am for each and every one of you. So one of the handwritten words that I wrote down for y'all says, I am grateful for so many things. You are at the top of my list. So there you go. There's some that are from like Cicero. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. There's Willie Nelson. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. So anyway, there's just a variety here. We'll use some. And then I had room on the page. I guess I could have written more, but I wanted to give you guys, in case you wanted to, staying kind of more with the fall theme, little mini pieces from my, I believe it's the collage papers. I'm trying to remember what number, but Fondly Fall. But I'll link that full kit for you if you're interested, and I will link this over at Buy Me Coffee. It is free, so go grab it and enjoy playing with it, doing whatever you would like. Okay, so let me show you what I made, and then we're going to make something similar and maybe even another one. We'll see. I did not use the collage papers. I'm using some pumpkin spice papers. It's the large ephemera kit by Junk with Stuff. I've had this one for a while. It is an absolute favorite. The ephemera kit itself is huge. It has those big tags she makes. Anyway, this is just a few of the pages. I've cut some pieces out that we may play with, but I love that it's kind of non-traditional fall colors, but also has some of the pumpkins and flowers. If I didn't mention it, use the hashtag weekly library card before I put this away, in case you're playing along so we can find each other's posts. Also, feel free to tag me if you'd like. So I just used a few pieces from her kit. I added a tab at the top and then some of my seam binding. And then I put a belly band, and this is actually from one of the envelopes. I cut it off. I thought it looked pretty, and I wrapped it around and put one of the circles. And then when I was doing it, this is even one of the like library where you're looking up in the card catalog, it's shaped, that came out of the kit. So I thought that was kind of fun. I put one of the quotes on it, but I did it as a belly band, and I was afraid it was going to slide through. So I decided to just put a little pocket that can grab it there at the bottom. If I don't pull it out, right? It's just a real shallow pocket. And it's, of course, getting caught on the little cute little cutout things. And then on the back, there's a pocket because I wrapped it around too and just installed it that way. And this is Charlie Brown. What if today we were grateful for everything? Charlie Brown. Anyway, I just thought it was pretty, and we can use these really any, the words any time of the year. Like I said, we don't need to only be grateful at Thanksgiving or in the month of November. but I thought it was pretty. So, and these kind of corally green colors are some of my favorites, and I was kind of in the mood for something just, you know, a little different. I'm still really enjoying, of course, all my Christmas crafting, but sometimes, you know, you just want to do something else. And for the weekly library card, I wanted to make sure I continue to express my gratitude to all of you that watch my videos. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up, for the comments, for the hypes, all the things. You guys are awesome. And I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Okay, so I usually will stamp the date on mine, and I'm going to do that again. And I'm kind of putting it up higher so that I have a little more options. You don't even have to put a date on it. You can put it wherever you want. These are altered cards. So on this one, like I said, and I think there was something sort of similar I was going to use. It doesn't have the fancy kind of scalloped edge, but I was going to show you what I did. So the other one, it was just a different shape envelope. It works just the same. We just won't have that fancy little piece. So I'm just cutting off the flap of the envelope. If I had folded that up like an envelope, this would be the flap to open and close our envelope. And I'm just going to trim it out real quick. I wanted y'all to see me do it so you could hopefully get the sense. This one's a little bit wider overall. I mean, I could trim it. I'm not going to. I'm going to just make it be a wide little pocket. Get it where I want it. Let's add a little ink. I'm going to use my vintage photo. I used walnut to stamp the date just so that it would be a little bit longer. Okay, I think at that line, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't matter if it's exactly even. Okay, so this is going to become a belly band. All right, so I am going to get my glue and just glue this around the back like that. Okay, and then I don't know what we're going to put in it yet. There wasn't another one of these cards. I'm wondering if that's going to be so cute. This is a lot of her kits have these mason jars. So cute. We'll use that and we'll put some of our words on there in a minute. Okay. I didn't know that was going to fit. Now let me show you how I did the little bottom one. That one I did, whoops, just with another portion of the envelope. And I think what I'll do, and I'll link, I don't know if I said this, I'll link this kit in case you guys just want to look. And she has other things that coordinate with it, I believe, in her shop. I'm going to do like 3/4 of an inch strip. Just like I said, a narrow little pocket. And I hope this one, like I said, it's a little different size. I hope it's going to wrap all the way around like the original strip did. Okay. And I'm just lining this up right with the bottom. Approximately in the center. If not, I'll find something to piece this together. Yeah, because I want the little pocket in the back too. So I can just find a strip of paper. This is from a little tag. I could just cut this to 3/4 of an inch and patch it together. That is what we will do. I'm going to cut off kind of where it was grunged, since I don't have it on both sides. I think that's where I trimmed this strip. No, I made it a little bit wider. It's okay. I'm going to use it just like that. Once I start getting too skinny on my trimmer, it's hard. And we'll just use it. It'll be okay. All right, I want to add a little bit of ink, and then I'll show you how I attached this one. Okay, please let me know if you are following along and making these. I also would love to know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just attach this to one side of this strip. I would also like to know if you like the freebie and how you might use it. That would be fun. And if you have any fun things happening this week for Thanksgiving, yeah, let me know that too. Okay. I am going to put just a strip of glue right at the bottom on the front because I want this not to be a pass-through belly band. I want it, you know, to be this little tiny pocket to catch whatever I put through the belly band. Come on. It's wiggling on me. Okay, let me just make sure. Yes, everything is still happy. Looks good. All right. Now, this is a pocket as well. So, I'm going to glue the bottom. And I'm going to put this side over. Whoa. And put a little bit of glue here. And then put this side over. Just wipe that off. A little too much. Okay. Still have a lot of glitter from when I was working on my Advent thing. Now this looks kind of strange, so I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to just find a piece that I like, and we will put something, and again, maybe a circle or you know, some other pumpkins, something like that. Kind of like the circle. Let's see. It was actually a 2-inch circle that was in the kit that I just punched out. But let's see if I can get one out of this little journaling card. Aren't these colors fabulous? Okay. And it's kind of, you know, I love getting new paper kits, but I have so many. And then I'll find pieces of them that I've printed and not used yet. And then I'm like, oh, I need to go back to that kit. And then I just have so much fun again. Enjoying it all over again. I haven't crafted. Well, I crafted with this one and made some big tags. I didn't do a video, but put them on Instagram. But it's been, I don't know, a year or two, maybe longer since I've used this kit. So this is kind of fun for me. Okay, now I want to do something to this, but again, it's going to fit in there. Now it's a little, you know, it's a little bit taller. It is covering up my date. I'm okay with that. Let me show you the tag. This is the tag in the kit, and it prints out like this. So I cut it, folded it in half, and then did my trimming, and I was like, I really don't want it on the card like this. I want it to be like a tag like this. And I guess I could just glue it together and glue it on. But what I did instead was, first I went ahead and inked it, just because it's kind of easy to ink when it's the 2 layers like this. So I went ahead and inked it, and then I took my scissors and just chopped it in half right where I folded it. Okay, and make sure if I need to touch more ink. And I think I want, again, it's going to be covered up a little bit when the jar's in there, but that's okay. I think I want this on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue here. Put it about right there. And then I'll add glue to this one and glue it to the back. And hopefully they'll line up pretty well. Hopefully. Very nice. Okay. So I've mentioned in some of my other videos, we have, I think there's going to be 8 of us for Thanksgiving this year. my two bonus daughters, uh, Julie and her boyfriend, and then Emily and her boyfriend will be here. So Julie and Emily. Julie's the one that lives with us. And then my best friend and was one of my college roommates, Jennifer, who lives in North Carolina, she will be here. And then my brother, Joe, will be here. And of course, me and my husband. So we will have fun. My other two are going to be with their dad, so I will miss them, but they'll be with me for Christmas. So, okay, I'm going to punch a hole because I am going to put a piece of ribbon at the top because I like that on mine. And then before we tie the ribbon, let's look at the jar. And I am going a little bit, like letting the vintage photo kind of come over just a touch. It was a little bit white and black, or a little more white and black than I think some of the other things I've been using from the kit. And I think that looks, for me, just a touch better. Okay, and on this one, it was just, the kind of the green polka dots here. So I did I cut out from one of the journaling cards, those pumpkins. So I kind of like how this is looking. So let me think. I don't want to cover up too much of this, but let's look at our words that we have. This is the sheet I've been working from. And okay, here's some as well. All right, let the beauty of what you love be what you do. I love this one. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Let's see, even if we don't use it here, we'll use it somewhere. Isn't this like so wise? So wise. So sometimes we have to live a little, I think, to learn some of these things. But yes, whoops, didn't tear that very well. It's okay. It's all right. It can be crooked. You can still read it. These are my library cards. Really didn't want to cover up too much. I could, cover up some of this and then just have the cute little jar in there. I've also done these, y'all, where I've cut this out and made things we could tuck inside. Should we do that? And then maybe put some little messages in there. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Okay, so what we have to do first is carefully, this is going to probably be the only one we make because now I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but gosh, I'm excited. Okay, can you tell? Can you tell I'm excited? I haven't done this in a while. Like I said, I have a lot of Stephanie, I don't know if she goes by Steph or Stephanie's kits. Okay, I think I just want it at the top. Yeah, I didn't need to go as far as I went, but that's okay. It'll be all right. All right, because you just want it like this, okay? So that some things can tuck in there. And then let me think of, or find something. I have a piece of craft cardstock sitting here. It's a full piece, but that's okay. All right, I am going to glue this down, but you have to be careful how you're going to glue it because I'm going to glue it like a pocket around here and then glue this portion down. So let me make sure that makes sense for you. We're going to glue like the inside of the jar lid down, and then the rest of it is going to be just around the edges. And I'm probably not going to put anything that big, so I'm going to bring the glue up like that, but I could probably bring it up even more, but just in case. All right, and I'm going to cut it out right up next to the patterned paper. I'm not going to leave a border or anything, and I know it'll, of course, fit in my library card this way, too. Okay. So cute. I love making little elements like this that are kind of a surprise. Okay. Here we go. All right. Almost done. And we'll add a little ink. And our little jar will be all ready to play with, I think. All right. I hope you guys think this is cute as I do. As cute as I think it is. All right. Hopefully I did this right. Look at that. We have a kind of secret pocket. Okay. So now, if I want to put my Willie Nelson quote in here, see, I can do that. It's like a little pull out. But I think I'm going to put it on a piece of this just to make it a little bit sturdier. And hopefully I'm going to make sure it's still going to fit. If not, it can always just, you know, actually cut it. But okay. Let's make sure. Yes. And we might put something else in here too. All right, I'm going to glue it down. And we might put a little piece of ribbon or something on it. I don't know. Very fun. All right, and then I didn't lose, you know, the image there that I wanted. Okay, so there's one little thing peeking out of the jar. Let's look at maybe one of these skinny ones. There is always something to be thankful for, right? So let me get this one ready, and we'll do it the same way. Try to be careful tearing it. I do have an extra printed out if I have a real big mistake, but if I slow down just a touch, I should be okay. All right. Will this one fit on here? Why, yes, it will. I may not have the edges torn on the ends, but that's all right. Or maybe just, I'll do a tiny tear on one end, so the end that's sticking out will hopefully kind of look like that one. Craft paper is not the easiest to tear with the tear ruler. Yeah, good enough. And a little ink. Now I'm kind of wanting to make a bunch of jars. These are fun on journal pages too, I think, you know, to have on a journal page and to tuck little things in, little word strips, again, little quotes, things you're thinking about. Let me do it. No, this is the way I want to do it. I want to have the words kind of going the same way as the other one. Okay. And like I said, now they're nice and kind of sturdy. All right. Because I'm going to put some seam binding up here, I don't think I'm going to put any on those little cards. All right. I want to make something for back here. So let me see. What quote or something would I like to use? How about the one that I read to you guys right at the beginning? I am so grateful for so many things. You, each of you are at the top of my list. How blessed, right? To have so many things to be grateful for. Okay. Yep, it's going to fit. Let's put it on lots of little pieces of paper. was thinking, let's bring in, isn't this gorgeous? Let's bring in a little bit more of the green. And I think I'm just going to glue it down and cut it out just to have, I know this is torn, but everything else is kind of clean and straight. I'll put it in the middle. All right. I always think I know, like when people ask me, what's your favorite color? I always think I know. And I've gone through different stages in my life with colors. I've asked you guys before, share with me your favorite color if you want to do that. If you haven't ever done that, or if you've done it and you want to do it again, please do. But green, like my whole life, had always been one of my most favorite colors, and it still is. And then, then I went through a stage after my mother died that I really wanted everything to be blue, like a blue stage. And it wasn't like that I was sad, like the connotation of I'm feeling blue. It was just something was really drawing me towards blue. I have just a little bit of this seam binding left that I had dyed, and it got a little funky, and I like it with this. I think funky looks good. Now this one, I actually tied a little bow. We'll see if, I think we have enough to do that with this one too. Anyway, I went through this blue, and I still, so like now a lot of times I'm like, yeah, blue is my favorite color. But I don't know. I go back and forth all the time. There are so many colors that I love. It's hard for me to say, I'm only going to pick one. When I'm journaling and doing this kind of work, I do tend to go towards the greens and the neutrals and like the rose pinks, things like that, kind of some vintagey colors. So that's been a lot, of what I've been doing in recent years as well. But yeah, I have a hard time picking a favorite color. I really do. Now, let me see. There was one thing I was thinking. I don't know if I printed one of the pages that had, I was just thinking maybe a little something here. I think I even cut out, if I'm remembering correctly, like a little tag. I did this earlier today to get ready. I was just thinking maybe just a little something here. And maybe this is it. Let's see. Maybe just like another little flower, since I didn't put a fussy cut on this one. Maybe just a little flower and only a tiny little bit of the wraparound because I don't want to cover this pretty up. All right, let's see. Again, if y'all are enjoying this, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will consider doing so. What do y'all think? Yeah, I like it. Just to have one more little, just, I don't know, to break, to make it look like I put something on here, I guess, with it. So pretty. Yeah, so do those things for me, please. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll say that probably another time or two this week. I don't know how many videos I'll have up this week. I'll have the 15-minute on Wednesday and something for Tuesday for tomorrow. But just, I'm not sure. It depends on how much I get done Monday and Tuesday and getting ready for my company. So, but don't worry about me if I'm not around for a while, a few days, whatever. I'll be back. But sometimes, other things come first. and I say that, and maybe tomorrow I'll be inspired and get a few things recorded that I have, ready to go, just haven't recorded yet. Okay, this is now, I loved this with that shape, but now I am just loving our little jar we made. Okay, have fun. If you are interested in some of these jars, go look at a lot of Steph's earlier kits that are still there on Etsy have like a bingo card and a jar and like time cards like this. I can show you guys these that I cut out, like vintage calendars. So there's a lot of fun ephemera, and I hope you have fun with it. And until next time, have a great day. I'm grateful and thankful. Thanks, you guys.